Please welcome Rebecca Tingley Fox. Oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. You clapped along to that song. This is not like a happy, let's go type of song. That's how we feel. And I don't blame you. I fucking, this is no, what we're going through is no fucking joke. And we're all just like, it's fine. But it's not fucking fine, is it? You know, I was listening to the BBC News the other day, and scientists have recently discovered that female snakes have clitorises. Not clitori, like each snake has one clitoris, but this shattered assumptions. That's what the BBC said. It shattered assumptions. Female snakes didn't have any sexual pleasure zones. I mean, the slithering would make you think, like, I think their whole skin must be like, ooh. But what do I know? I'm not a scientist. I just like, so part of the reason that they didn't know that female snakes have clitoris size is that male snakes, how they impregnate female snakes is they like slither up to a female snake, and then they like wiggle around, and then they shoot their penis into her because they have a detachable penis, peni, a detachable peni, and they just put it into her body anywhere. And then they slither away. And that's what I didn't know. Because snakes don't know. Male snakes don't know that female snakes have clitorises. So they just put their peni wherever the fuck, like, I'm just like imagining like one female snake with just like all these penises inside her body. And if you've slept with as many people as I have, you're like, I know how she feels. There's penises all over my body. With no stimuli. I mean, really, that's what we're studying today, 2023. Female snakes have sexual pleasure. I'm a mom. One of those gentlemen got it into the right place. And I had a kid. And my child is a 5th grader. She's 11 years old. And I just like being a mom is just one of the greatest things I've ever experienced. I just fucking love it. Because it's so fun to make a little, like, radical feminist and, like, send her into the world. And she just scares the shit out of everybody. And I just love it, you know? Like, having kids is like creating a being that's just like you without trauma. You're gonna have a great life. And I get to watch. And, you know, so she's great, but she's not a little radical. She's 5'7" as an 11-year-old with a size 10 foot. And so she's clearly reached puberty a little early, but she's still a kid. And so she'll be in her room, like under the covers, like playing Genshin Impact and whatever else she's doing in there. And then she'll come out and she'll hug me. And oh my God, does she smell? Oh my God, and we're so close, I love her, and she's sensitive, but like she smells like if you left a filet of fish in your car bar in Tucson during July for a couple of days. That's how she. And it's terrible. And then I'm thinking, this has to be my fault because she's so big and she smells. And I had like a couple of bad years where I just like fed her McNuggets. And I just think the human growth hormone and the I think I did that. Like I think if we did a like 23andMe, it'd be like 25% Romanian, 25% Czechoslovakian, and 50% McNugget. I'm doing great. Doing great. The other thing is, like, I don't know about you guys, but adult friendships, how's that going? How's that going? I mean, like, people that you meet now and try to become friends with. I mean, I'm not great at it. Are you guys? Is it going great? Is it this is what happens to me over and over again. I'll be like, I'll meet somebody that I think I have a lot of in common with, and I'm just like so excited. You know, like I'm like, yes, finally! Like I have a person to hang out with, somebody to like have drinks with, and just be like, blah, 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 you know, like just do like, you know what women do. Like I don't hike, I just chat, and that's what I want, you know. And so it's like akin to finding a show that you love, and you like binge watch it in a weekend. You're just like, you know, you take the whole thing and you're like, I just love this, I just love it. And then after a little while, it's like that show got a second season with a new showrunner, a totally different idea of the character. And you're like, what happened to your character? You're just not somebody I can believe in. But then there's this sunk cost fallacy. You know, you've already said yes. You know, like I watched Californication for 7 seasons. Lost. I watched that whole shit. You know, you're like, I'm in, and then you just see this fucking mess what? So like, you know, how do you break up with someone like as an adult friend? You know, you're like, I just don't wanna, like how do you do that? Because it's just so difficult. You just want them to get hit by a bus. And then you're like, oh, they're not here anymore, and probably their family doesn't even know who I am. So I don't have to go to the stuff. Goodbye. You know, like that's what you want. You know, because if you're like in a love relationship, you know you're gonna get love. Sex relationship, you're gonna get sex. Work, you're gonna get money. But in an adult friendship, what you're gonna get is like drunken advice that's unsolicited from a person who also needs therapy. Nobody needs that. But let me say this: I am not the easiest person to be friends with because I'm just one of those people like I love when we call myself a catalyst, but I think other people would be like, she's a fucking nightmare. Like she can ruin your life. Like I'm one of those friends that like husbands and boyfriends do not like once you hang out with Rebecca, and you come back, you're like, I have all these ideas. That's my role in life. And you know, like you've never been a close friend of mine unless you've had to say, before I tell you this, Rebecca, please don't say anything. I'm like, okay, sure. But honestly, do not tell me that your boyfriend is a psychotic asshole unless you want me to tell your boyfriend that he's a psychotic asshole. So I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna burn. You know, let's be honest. And I've had work friends where they'll be like, this job sucks, it's so terrible. I'm like, yes it does, it totally does. And then I'll like fill out an anonymous survey, and then they're like, oh, bing, 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 let's have a Zoom meeting. Rebecca, how are things going? And the next thing you know, I'm walking out of the building with a box. I have been escorted out of so many buildings. So many. That's who I am, and I'm trying to accept it. It's not, I don't know. I don't know about I mean, how do we do this? I don't know how we get through this. I don't. Like therapy's okay, but I have a therapist that I went to for like trauma therapy, and she keeps not doing the trauma therapy part of it because she's like, you're always in crisis. And I'm like, yes. So if we did this trauma therapy, maybe I wouldn't be in crisis. And they don't, like, therapists don't like it when you outsmart them. Have you guys experienced this? It costs so much money. You're like, I've got you in my sight. Fucking let's go, lady. Arrest me. Let's do it. It can't be worse. It can't be worse. All right. So the last thing I was going to tell you guys about is, the pandemic, which I've been loosely referring to, but like really, aren't we just always kind of talking about it? It's just always there. Everything's just kind of shitty. And we're pretending like, oh, it has nothing to do with the fact that everything shut down for 3 years and nobody pays enough and nobody wants to work. Let's just keep going. Just keep going. Keep going. And so during the pandemic, like what we were all hanging on to was like media, like more movies, more content, more stuff that we could watch and look at so that we could get through it. And so I watched everything. I watched everything. And then finally I had to watch horror movies. I had never watched horror before. It was not something that I was ever really interested in, but I was down to that section. So I started watching horror movies. And the thing about horror movies is they were pretty scary initially, and then after you watch a few of them, you're like, oh, this is so formulaic, right? It's almost silly. You're like, oh, here comes the monster, ha ha. It becomes a funny thing. So I thought, what could be a horror movie that would scare everyone, that would be just horrifying to everyone? And then I thought, what if we normalized a hate crime that was men getting their dicks ripped off? Just all the time, randomly, and you can never prove it. And then we made a horror movie about that. I think that would scare everybody. Really bad. And so my movie is, the first scene is a dude locking up the shop, and he's the only one working, so he's locking it up. He's walking to his car with the cash bag or box or whatever, and he gets to the car and he's trying to open it, and then we start to hear this music that's or that boom, but that weird sound that's supposed to scare us. Okay, so that's happening, and then we see the monster coming out of the darkness, and he's like, Rah! The guy at first thinks he's getting robbed, but no, that monster is, they rip his dick off. And it's horrifying, and very intimate, and it goes on forever. It's just really graphic, and we can see all of it up close, and all I don't watch this. This is terrible. I'm horrified. This is horrified. That poor man. And the monster gets his keys and tries to get it out with the keys. He runs it over with the car, and he runs the dick over. comes off, and the monster runs away into the night, and like the shot of the monster is him like walking like this with the dick in his hand. And it's like, there's like blood, but there's like these two little bouncing pathetic balls. And we cut back to the man, and he's just lying there like, oh. Horrifying. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. And then the next scene is, the guy's in the hospital. He's got, the sheets up to the top, and he's just like, and the detectives come in to ask him questions about the monster so they can track him down and get him or kill him, or actually to probably just let him off because they didn't have enough evidence. They're like, I'm so sorry for what you've been going through, but if you wouldn't mind, could you just answer a few questions? And the man's like, okay, like trying to be brave, And then the detectives say, what were you wearing? And the credits roll, and the movie is called Private Membership. And then if you sit through the credits, you get an extra scene. And the extra scene is the man, like several months later, applying for a job. And the person, trying to hire, like looks at his resume and he's like, listen, you're very qualified, but I've got to tell you, who you are and what you've been through makes everybody in the office uncomfortable. Horrifying, right? Horrifying. But here's the thing, this movie takes off. There's a sequel. And what we don't know is that we know that the man got his dick ripped off, but what we don't know is that the monster impregnated him. Can you believe that? And so the man is like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Like, there's just no way I'm gonna love this dick baby. And, he also lives in a state that does not condone abortion. You cannot have one, it's illegal. So he is in a quandary. And, like, the movie starts to become a little bit of like an ethical question, not so scary like like some of those latest horror movies, you're just like, am I a bad person? It turns into that, and that's okay, because then the man goes to a support group, and it becomes a love story, because he meets a man there that also does not have a dick, and they fall in love, and they decide to raise the baby. And that movie is called Two Men, No Dick, and a Baby. It's very popular. Very popular. There's a third movie. The third movie did not go as well. It was about like an elite group of leather-clad, dickless vigilantes. They were just trying to get out there and like solve crimes, and people were like, this does not pass the Bechdel test. Fuck you. And that movie was called Dismembers Only VIPness. Nobody went for it. And then finally, there was the fourth final movie of the franchise is in the future, scientists have figured out how to get penises to grow back. Of course. So all the men here, I'm metaphorically giving you your dick back. You're welcome. And I just don't know where the dick would grow, like through the taint or like the tailbone. I don't know. But that movie's called Remembered.